Denali National Park and Preserve is home to the only working sled dog kennel in the entire National Park Service. The dogs and the rangers here uphold a tradition as old as Alaska itself. A way of living, working, and traveling that some may think exists only in the past. The park's kennels are one of the few left in this country that still breed and raise the large freight-hauling style of Alaskan Husky. While dog teams were once common in many households in Alaska, used to support travel and transportation of supplies, when modern technology like snowmobiles and airplanes gained popularity, sled dogs began to disappear. Rangers hope that will never be the case here. The Denali Kennel carries on not just the history and heritage of Alaska, but the park itself. Dogs have played a key role in Denali since 1922, when the park's kennel was first established. They have worked with rangers to do everything from patrolling for poachers to supporting scientists studying climate change. While the work of the dogs has evolved over time, so too have the bloodlines.
One of the things that Denali's dogs are known for is that they're traditional freight-style dogs that used to be found all across Alaska when everybody had their own dog team for traveling or hauling, running trap lines.
Throughout the year, kennels rangers carefully assess each dog's performance in all aspects of their jobs. Is the dog confident, independent, outgoing, and friendly? Do they get along well with other dogs? Is their fur thick enough to keep them warm out on the trail when it's 40 below? Are their paws large but compact? Do they demonstrate a true desire to run and pull? And can they lead a team with confidence, but also work in partnership with the musher?
From this analysis, the kennel's manager chooses the breeding pair, the dogs who will continue the bloodline. Once a breeding takes place, gestation lasts 60 to 65 days. The pups are born in the kennel, and the staff are always on hand to assist with the arrival of the newest canine rangers.
For the first few weeks of their lives, the pups are entirely dependent on mom. Their eyes and ears remain closed, and they can't produce their own body heat or eliminate their own waste. They spend all of their time sleeping, nursing, and growing.
After the first critical weeks have passed, the pups emerge from the doghouse and begin to explore their world. Kennels rangers handle and gently stress each pup, developing essential neuromotor pathways. This allows them to calmly react to any situation they may face in their adult lives. As the pups grow, training starts to build sled dog skills. Short runs on the track turn to long exploratory walks with the rangers, mom, and other adult dogs. The pups run through the woods, climb over logs, and get their feet wet at creek crossings, all preparing them for the challenges of the trail. Truly important, as these pups will replace the kennel's oldest dogs, who at age 9 are ready for retirement. But it's not just the pups who are training each fall. Kennels rangers have to get the big dogs ready for the trail too.
Getting in shape for winter work begins with cart and ATV runs. When there's enough snow, we switch to sleds, and that's when the fun really begins. During these runs, each dog not only rebuilds physical strength and fitness, but also sharpens his or her mental capacity for teamwork, navigation, and the ability to follow commands.
By the time the snow starts to blanket the pristine Denali landscape, the new puppies have grown big enough to cover several miles running loose, but they are still not physically or mentally ready to train and pull with the adult dogs. The pups learn to pull by ski joring.
Pulling a skier is a much less stressful way for the pups to learn the concept of pulling and can accomplish several goals. We can have one adult dog on the line to help guide the puppy and show her what to do. We can work individually with the little guys on verbal commands and build their confidence in working with humans. The puppies love ski joring, and it gives us great insight into each individual's personality and their training needs, much more so than if they were just one of many dogs pulling in the team.
The park's modern-day mushers and dogs carry on a long, proud tradition of human and canine rangers working together to travel and protect this unique landscape. Harry Karstens, the park's original superintendent, was first and foremost a dog musher. Even before the park was established, Karstens traveled and worked in the area, most notably as a guide for Charles Sheldon, a wealthy hunter-naturalist who came to study Dall sheep in the early 1900s. This partnership and journey inspired Sheldon to lobby for the creation of this national park in 1917. When Superintendent Karstens was first tasked with protecting the park, he recognized the dog team was essential to his duties. He bought the park's first 7 sled dogs from Norman Hadley and the Nana and used the team to monitor wildlife and patrol for poachers. A century later, the dogs have proven an invaluable tool for traveling Denali's remote landscapes, even in today's rapidly changing modern times. Dog teams remain more reliable than most machines when it comes to starting up at 50 below zero. They can easily travel through wet overflow, a hazard that could bog down a snowmobile.
By using these sled dogs instead of machines, we're replacing cold engines with warm, beating hearts. We're trading a tangle of wires for a network of veins, channeling blood enriched with passion, purity, and an electricity that no battery will ever come close to harnessing. That's what powers this place. And after a long day on the trail, dogs are much more fun to cuddle up with than any snowmobile.
These sled dogs can also go where machines legally cannot. The 2 million acres of Denali wilderness established during the park's expansion in 1980. Wilderness, as defined by the Wilderness Act of 1964, is a place where the land is untouched and man himself is a visitor who does not remain.
Wilderness is so much more than a set of legal directives. It is also an experience, a feeling our visitors are seeking when they come here. The sled dogs are an exceptional means of preserving the unique wilderness character of this park. By using them as our primary means of transport in the winter, we keep our heritage alive and promote the value of traditional tools and skills in a modern world.
We're getting ready to go check out the lower stakes on the Tolika Glacier. These stakes were drilled into the ice, and we periodically go out and see how much they've melted out of the ice and do a couple other things like check out the snow density. What makes these stakes really interesting, or monitoring this glacier in particular really interesting, is that over the past year the elevation of the glacier has actually been rising, which makes it seem like something is going on, like it might be surging.
During Denali's long, cold winter, park scientists may need to access remote locations within designated wilderness for their research, or trail crew and maintenance staff may need to transport large, bulky items to remote locations for project work. While a helicopter, airplane, or snowmobile may seem like the obvious choice, the Wilderness Act mandates park staff take a different approach.
You know, the dogs mushed out to Wonder Lake, and then the dogs actually hauled all of our stuff up to McGonigal Pass.
Park managers must ask, what is the minimum tool that we can use for this job? In Denali, that means asking, can we use a dog team to accomplish this work? Dog teams don't just haul in supplies to remote locations. They also haul materials out of wilderness. Backcountry rangers and volunteers will hike into remote areas and pile up heavy debris during the summer months so that dog teams can return in winter to haul it out.
In addition to the projects completed with other divisions, we also help break trail and establish winter travel routes. We report on conditions and help our winter visitors prepare for the backcountry. And in doing that, we hope our dog teams encourage and inspire people to come have their own adventures during Denali's beautiful winter season.
Most summer visitors cannot imagine returning to Denali in winter, but Kennel's rangers have long known a secret that surprises many. Travel in this park is often easier when the thermometer dips below zero. Thick brush hides below swales of snow. Boggy lakes and spongy tundra freeze solid, and turbulent rivers transform into highways of ice. For those seeking solitude, adventure, and challenge, a winter journey through Denali's wilderness provides the intrepid traveler a refuge from modern civilization and a place to rejuvenate the spirit. Cold temperatures typically usher in clear, sunny skies, which reward with gorgeous views of the majestic Alaska Range, and long, dark winter nights provide opportunities to witness the magic of the Aurora Borealis.
But don't be fooled. The relative ease of travel and the breathtaking beauty of Denali in winter does not mean the work we do is easy. If you think that dog mushing is about standing on the runners on the back of the sled and enjoying the view, think again.
No matter the conditions, after a long, hard day on the trail, both mushers and dogs are happy to reach a cabin for the night, even if the work does not end when they reach their destination.
Feeding and hydrating 30 to 35 hardworking dogs on the trail is no small task.
After the mushers have finished their chores, a couple of lucky dogs are chosen to join them in the cabin for some extra attention. When everyone has had their fill of belly rubs and play, it is time to rest. Tomorrow will be another busy day. This is life on the trail. As the season goes on, the dog teams travel deep into the heart of the wilderness, beyond where any patrol cabins exist.
There's something very soothing and rewarding about performing the basic tasks required to survive. Everything gets distilled down to food, water, shelter, and warmth. In our high-tech, fast-paced modern world, we treasure the gift of slowing down and remembering the simple pleasures. We all find great joy and satisfaction in days consumed by the simple acts of travel and work in wilderness.
By this point, the adult dogs are in peak condition and can easily travel 30 or more miles per day, hauling more equipment and completing more project work. Last summer's pups are also bigger and better by March. They've spent the winter running loose next to the teams and have learned the common travel routes, experienced various trail conditions, and burned off some of their puppy energy.
Physically, the pups are still not ready to pull the sleds for more than a few short miles. But they'll continue to grow and get stronger, so by next fall, they will be ready to run with the big dogs.
Saying goodbye to winter and hello to spring feels bittersweet for the kennel staff. As temperatures warm and the land prepares for summer, rangers store heavy parkas, harnesses, and sleds for another year. Only memories of the winter remain, and soon another summer season begins. The rangers will be busy answering questions and giving demonstrations to thousands of visitors, while the dogs rest on their houses. Visitors will scratch behind their ears, rub their bellies, and stare into the dogs' eyes, perhaps catching a glimmer of their winter adventures. The sled dogs offer them a connection to a different world, a fearsome and fragile wilderness. It is not hard to understand why the canine and human rangers are so passionate about their work, why they are willing to go to such great lengths to protect this great land.
These sled dogs teach us to pursue our daily lives and work with unbridled enthusiasm and dedication. We wholeheartedly share in their desire to run and explore, to see what lies beyond the next bend in the river or over the next mountain range.
And while it is a unique relationship that exists between ranger and sled dog, the Denali dogs should hold a special place in each of our hearts. We live in a rapidly changing world where ice caps are melting and Alaska's winters are warming, where daily life revolves around technology and the simple pleasures of nature can be hard to find. By doing what they love and taking on the work of the park, the Denali sled dogs lead the way in preserving and protecting the integrity of this wild place. They also remind us of our responsibility to future generations, that we must act to ensure our children and grandchildren have the same opportunities for discovery, adventure, reflection, and solitude in this park and its great, vast wilderness.